right. Hey, manufacturing world. This is Wade Anderson with Shop Matters coming to you live from IMTS 2022. So this is day 2 of IMTS, and joining me here today, I've got Greg Hartwig, one of the owners of Hartwig Incorporated. So welcome, Greg. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. This is pretty exciting, man. Never done anything like this before at IMTS. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a new thing even for us to do. So, you know, we do podcasts here, and we typically are in a studio. So I've never done it myself out here on the floor like this, but it's a lot of fun. We've enjoyed doing it.
I'm getting a lot of funny looks, and now my brother's taking video of me. So this is, I don't think this is the only time I'm going to see this, Wade.
Right. Well, that's the joy of having family members in the audience, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So, Greg, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Hartwig?
Okay. Been in the company now 21 years. Started in service and worked my way into sales. Sold some PMs and then machine tool sales after that.
Okay.
But the company's been around since 1960. Grandfather started it, and now we're third generation. Jeff and I are trying our best to keep this thing above ground, and we're doing pretty well so far. But all in, we're just over 200 employees.
Wow.
And the majority of our employees are after sales support, like 75% are after sales support. And that's very, very important to us. That comes from many years, many decades of just running our business and taking care of customers.
Sure.
Yep.
I think that's such an important thing. And you were one of the guys that actually turned me on to it many years ago. A lot of our PowerPoint presentations and things we do for customers, we talk about the aftermarket and the service and support infrastructure we have. So Okuma's go-to-market strategy has always been through distribution network.
Yep.
I know a lot of OEMs over the years have tried going direct. They go one way, they go another. They bring in different distributors, they fire different distributors. So that dynamic changes a lot.
Yep.
We've got a long history with Hartwig.
Yeah, in fact, it goes back to 1980 is when Okuma and Hartwig came together. And the way it all worked out was in 1980, we had another manufacturer fire us, and they went direct.
Okay.
And so then my dad and a team of people started looking for the next machine tool builder that we wanted to represent.
Okay.
And so we went over to Japan, or they did, not we. I don't know if I was barely born at that time, but they went over to Japan and visited a handful of manufacturers. And we believed that Okuma had the best product offering, the most product breadth, and the most reliable product in the industry out of Japan.
Okay.
And so, it's 40 years now, and we've grown from St. Louis was our main location.
Okay.
And now we have 7 locations, and we cover 14 states. 14 states for Okuma today.
So where are the main offices located?
So St. Louis is headquarters, and then Kansas City is our first move in 1980. Then we have Wichita, Kansas, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas, Denver, Colorado, and Salt Lake City in Utah.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, and so we have 7 of our facilities are Hartwig owned. 2 are partnership facilities. They're technical schools. 1 in Denver, Davis, and then the other one in Salt Lake. Sorry, the one in Denver is Metro State, and then Salt Lake is Davis Tech.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what a great partnership to have, because you tie in a lot of training opportunities for customers there as well, right?
Yeah, in fact, we do. It's a good point. Each of our facilities has a training room.
Okay.
And they're between 30 to 50 seats. And we train at least once a month in every facility. And it could be a lathe class or a mill class. What we're doing a lot of now is training our own techs. We took one of our most senior techs off of the street, and now he's training our own service techs out of our St. Louis office, because you know how hard it is to bring on new talent and hire new talent and just get your guys from a green group all the way up to a group that's very proficient. It takes a long time.
Absolutely.
And we had to rely on ourselves for now. The pandemic didn't help. We couldn't travel a lot.
Right.
And so that's what we did. We decided to pull Bob off. His name's Bob Hager, off the street. And he's been with us over 20 years and one of our very veteran senior techs. And he's really helped our team out.
That's fantastic.
So we're doing things like B-axis rebuild. We're doing things like cam rebuild, spindle rebuild, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We're doing that internal now. And it's helped out a ton, I think.
So let's define that a little bit deeper for people who maybe aren't as familiar with distribution and how Okuma works with distributors.
Yeah.
I think about the level of training and the investment that you guys have made.
Yeah.
When we bring in new talent, we hire new people. You typically have a year investment into somebody before they really hit the street and start working.
Yep.
Yep.
Easy. So I would say, we bought our own machines to bring into our facilities so that we could train our techs.
Yeah.
We bought an old lathe, a Captain L370, and an old MX45, as well as a new LB3000 just for our own. So we're investing not in just the people, but the machines actually, so the guys could train on them.
Right.
Yeah. And
That's important.
I think it's working out well. Our guys, we typically have probably 6-7 guys every couple weeks come to St. Louis and train. And I think it's gone well. So we're even starting to do our applications guys as well now too.
And that's such an important aspect. Obviously, I work for Okuma. I bleed Okuma Blues. So I know we make beautiful equipment, very reliable equipment.
Very reliable.
But the service and support infrastructure behind that is what really sets us apart from everybody else in the field, I believe.
And I think as a distributor too, that's kind of where we put our flag in the ground, is service and support. There's a lot of companies that will go direct or go a different route outside of distribution. And I think they lose that touch of the customer, the local touch of the customer, and they can't take care of them as well as maybe that's what we would like to think is that we can. We feel like we can do a better job. Today we have just over 80 service techs in 14 states. And our plan is to grow to hopefully about 100 next year at the end of the year. And there's attrition there, there's retirements, there's quitting, there's new hires, all that stuff. But we know our focus is on taking care of our customers and what we call customer experience. That's very, very important to us.
So Hartwig, you guys have a very unique culture within the company.
Yeah, there's Kool-Aid. It's Kool-Aid.
Yeah, it's Kool-Aid.
It's all Kool-Aid.
How do you drive that as an organization and spread that across the amount of geographical territory that you have?
It's not easy, man. There's a lot of different ways we do it. I would say we're not perfect, but top down we do it, and from bottom up we do it.
Yeah.
And we share it all the time. We talk about our company culture. We talk about the things that make us different. My dad's favorite thing is what gets measured gets done. Yeah. So you've probably heard that before.
I've heard that.
Another one is if you're not early, you're late. We've got all kinds of things like that. But we all care like family is another one. But we have a whole bunch of different tenets throughout our organization that our employees, I wouldn't say they all know or know by heart, but they can certainly feel it.
Okay.
And we want to share that with our customer base as well. And then it comes down to our mission. Hartwig Incorporated helps people in manufacturing control their destiny every day.
Beautiful.
And that's just us, man. I don't know. That's just us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And anything that we get ourselves into, inside of machine tools or outside of machine tools, we want to make sure that our eyes are on the customer first.
Yeah.
And not on our pocketbooks or anything else. Because if we can take care of the customers, the rest will take care of itself.
So repeat your mission for me one more time.
Hartwig Incorporated helps people in manufacturing control their destiny every day.
That's great.
Yeah.
If people can't say their mission in one sentence, there's no way people can live it. So that's such a great way to do it.
And if my dad were here, he'd probably be quizzing all the Hartwig employees as well. He likes to go around the office and do that.
Right.
Yeah. It's pretty comical.
I know. I think it was the first or maybe the second time I ever met your father. He walked up and wanted me to sell whatever machine I was near. I had to give him a pitch on that machine immediately. So that was my trial by fire in front of him.
Yeah, I've got a lot of stories about that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the first time, not the first time, but one of the first times, it was in our Oklahoma office, and I was just coming up. And my dad said, this is when Larry was in charge.
Yeah.
He said, hey, Greg, why don't you give Larry Schwartz the Crown L1420 demo? And I was like, oh, no. Yeah. I did the best I could, and I stumbled, and Larry was like, it's okay. Let me help you. And he was really cool about it.
Oh, that's nice.
But yeah, that's a big thing for us, because if you can do the demo in front of your fellow sales guys, you can do it in front of a customer anytime.
Sure.
If you can do it in front of me or Greg or Jeff or whatever, then it becomes a lot easier. And it's a good way for us to get to learn the machine tools too.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you've been walking around the booth here for a little bit.
Yeah.
What's the coolest thing you've seen so far?
Well, the thing that you and I helped work on.
I love it.
No, there's a lot here to see.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with the MA 8000
Yeah.
and the size of that work envelope.
Yes.
That's impressive. And the piece that's out there just to show how big that thing really is, how big a part that thing can really take.
You know, that to me was a stroke of genius, putting that on
Yeah,
the floor.
me too.
That's kind of a standard trick in the industry, is you make a volumetric,
Yep.
piece that will sit on the pallet.
Right.
But walking up and seeing it on the floor where you can actually stand next to it, that was a jaw dropper for me to see
It
how
was for
big.
me too. We talked about it this morning in our sales meeting. We'd say, hey, who saw what? Who saw what? And that was one of the things. It was like, that's impressive. That's
Yeah.
a game changer. I would call it game changer, but that's something to stop and take a look at.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Seriously, the Fastums APC.
Yeah.
I really like it. It's compact, 3 levels. It's sharp. It fits the machine well. The automation in general, I'd say automation and multi-axis machines here in this booth specifically has been very impressive. I've enjoyed seeing that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
The other one, M565AX, we've been asking for a while.
Yeah.
It's finally here. We're looking forward to getting those out on the street. There's been a lot of excitement about that machine already.
Yes.
So it's a fantastic booth. I think another thing I like about the Okuma booth this year is there aren't a lot of pinch points. There's a lot of good, just traffic flow.
Yeah.
In the past, it'd be a block here or block there. But this year, I think it's well designed, well done.
Very good.
Yeah.
Greg, I really appreciate your time and joining us.
Yeah.
And
Sure, my
always
pleasure.
a pleasure working with you.
Yeah, you too, Wade.
All
Thanks
right.
for having me, man.
Thanks, Greg.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.